we have policy and enforcement safeguards in place that are able to detect traffic, that are able to detect potential fraud if it were to manifest itself. And in some cases, we also work with the advertiser. We notify them when they're likely to see some of these attacks. Like in case it's a malware, in case of malware, we're able to detect this early on, and we do also work with advertisers to, in some cases, remedy the situation. But back to your point, we have technologies in place, and we do have policies in place that are able to identify and detect fraud. And when we do, we make sure we're transparent about it, and make sure advertisers feel secure to advertise with us. So again, transparency, choice, control, making sure that there's a good understanding of what kind of abuse they've seen in this space. Yeah, so generally speaking, at a very broad level, our definition of misinformation is when an advertiser or a publisher deliberately misstates or misrepresents or conceals information for commercial benefit. And we do have several signals which help us recognize if it's misinformation. More importantly, though, from our perspective, one of the big motivations that's resulted in monetization of fake news, so to speak, is economic incentives, right? It was economically it was lucrative. There was a rising popularity of news, and we saw a lot of scammers starting to claim to being legitimate news sites, and showing ads showing on these sites obviously was commercial incentive. So from a policy and enforcement perspective, we in response to this trend launched policies that allowed us to take down ads or stop running ads against this content, and that removed the economic incentive for these sites to disseminate fake news. And that's typically our strategy, where we try to understand what are some of the motivations that drive abuse, and while we tackle the abuse at the end transaction level, we also try to neutralize the motivation that's driving the abusive behavior. Going back to my speech earlier today, we take a two-pronged approach to tackling this abuse. One is obviously the technology approach, where we try to understand and identify new trends and tackle it as fast as we can. The shortest time frame to taking action is ideal, because you don't want abusive actors to be on our systems for a long time. And then we also have human intelligence then that complements technology. It's important because human intelligence understands nuances of abusive behavior that technology can't yet catch. And again, goes back to our point, which is why we've deeply invested and we're committed to increasing that investment, along with making sure we keep working on the technology piece. Yeah, let me just qualify that, right? So what I did say is there is certain type of content. So there's, when I say 98%, it is certain types of egregious content that our technology is able to review, even before it gets to our human reviewers, right? So what that means is if we see a certain kind of abuse re-manifest itself, our technology is able to understand and catch that before it gets to a human reviewer. But obviously, it's we do need human reviewers, because technology cannot catch everything, right? Which is why there is that nuance, and you always have human intelligence that complements technology, but it also is making our technology better, because there is a feedback loop between human intelligence and our automated systems, and automated systems are learning in how our human reviewers